So basically, we have an outer board, and then this board that you want to do it?
No, it's far more entertaining for me for you to do it. An outdoor board?
An outer board.
All right, so do you want to give a whirl at explaining these lights again?
Why don't you do it?
So when we originally built the fence in creating this stagger, we wanted something a little bit more interesting, which is where the idea of leaving some of the gaps came from at the top and the bottom for the dogs and for us to be able to see out. But after that first or second night with the new fence, we realized how dark this little space was. And without adding additional harsh lighting on the house itself, we wanted to come up with a creative solution. So as a creative solution, we came up with using the hue light strips, which we've used elsewhere in the yard and have really, really liked them. The benefit here was that the light strip itself was the same width as the 3/4 inch boards that we were using. So it gave us an opportunity to kind of tuck the light strip up so it's completely hidden during the day. It fits in line with the idea of the design and the staggered look of the fence itself, and you don't even know it's there until nighttime. Now, one of the things that we did is on the stagger, this outer board, or the board that you see on the outside of the fence, is then staggered with the exact same board on the inside to cover those gaps in strategic places. But in this gap here, we layered a third layer, which is also a 1x4, and we were able to hide the light strip up and inside that gap there. Now, we did take the opportunity to paint that entire channel white, which really did help reflect the light, and then on the exterior, of course, just painted it the same color as the fence so that it completely disappears. The challenge that we ran into, though, was the distance. I don't know if you remember that part, but we had to drill through each one of these 4x4s anywhere we wanted the light strip or the wiring to be able to cross through so it was all hidden. And then the only thing that's not hidden is just this small junction intersection, which is far enough away from both the door and the entry that you really don't see it.
Usually it also hides behind the plants.
Yep.
Baby did a great job explaining that.
Thank you.
So you can see an example of what we were talking about with the white painted boards. We painted the inside of both boards as well as the top to make a even reflection throughout the entire space, giving us a nice consistent glow. Hue sends along these clips that make it really easy to attach the light strips to different surfaces. They're just clips that you screw into the surface and then come back in with the strip and pop them in place.
And this is one of the 1x4s. We can see the white back painted side here, but this is what will cover the strip, and that white paint will help give it a nice glow. And then we just used a couple of screws into each board and secured it in place. We did use some scrap wood to put in that open gap just to make sure that the front board and the back board were set nice and level so that the light didn't reflect one way or another too much.
So to make that bend, we had to go ahead and drill out a corner of our post.
And that allowed us to fish the hue light strip through to make sure that we had a nice consistent glow all the way. And we did end up drilling each of the posts where the light strip did pass through. The corner was probably just the most difficult.
The Hue outdoor light strips come in two lengths, 7 feet and 16 feet, and unlike their indoor counterpart, they can't be cut down to size or extended, so we did some extra planning just to make sure that the start and ends of each strip happen behind a pole.
And once all the light strips were in place and the electrical was secured, we were able to put the cover boards back on. We did use a couple of screws on these guys, making it easier for access in the future.
If you liked this project and this video, make sure you check out our other videos on our YouTube channel and like, comment, and subscribe, and hit that little bell icon to be notified when we post our next video. Also, make sure you check us out on our other social media channels. We are at Rodney and Jake across Instagram and TikTok. And make sure you check out our website, rodneyandjake.com, where we have merch and blogs talking about some of these projects in more depth.
And as always, we want to say thank you guys for following along, and a huge shout out to all of our members. We'll see you guys next time.